Note to any program directors listening. This is what entertainment sounds like.
Everything you want to hear from the voice of Cerritos College, WPMD on the Nets, where people make a difference.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Falcon Spotlight. I'm your host, Rob JF, and this is the show dedicated to Cerritos College and the community. Ladies and gentlemen, this show was started in the spring of 2012. Basically, I like to showcase leaders, students, individuals who they go above and beyond for their community. And of course, usually there are always students here at Cerritos College. There's all these programs here. There's so many unique opportunities, so many different groups that you can join here at Cerritos College. And I just want to, provide them the opportunity to promote themselves. So, and also, occasionally, I'll show you, a treat by basically bringing an alumni here or someone who has elevated themselves, someone who's in a position such as, faculty, counselors, anything of that sort. It could be even, city officials and so forth, and just basically to inspire everyone who is, in the same position as all of us, pursuing our education, trying to get further and just trying to get inspired. So at this time, I'd like my guest, both of them, to please introduce themselves.
Yes, I'm Philip Okoli. I'm a former student. I graduated the summer of 2012.
Hi, everybody. This is Brenna Varney. I am president of International Students Association, ISA for short, and I'm also ICC representative for EOPS. I am actually a current student right now, taking 18 units, and I'm a psychology major.
Excellent. Now, everybody goes to this phase. Everybody goes through their very first day, the very first week of Cerritos College or any other school. Tell me about your first day. What was it like?
Well, for me, I remember my first day of school. I had no classes. Actually, I had 3 classes, but I was dropped for non-payment. So I had to come to campus, look for any other classes that are open. Luckily, Professor Abasahan, who teaches Political Science 100, I believe, he was nice enough to let me take his class, even though it was past the time to add classes. So, yeah. It was hard for me to find a class because I'd never been here before. I was just a fresh high school graduate trying to get my foot inside the door. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
You see, for me, I had a different experience because I was in a teaching program, so all my classes were chosen for me. But basically, I did have Professor Abasawe for Political Science 101, Philip. Political Science 101, not 100.
Thank you.
But it was very interesting because I just got out of high school. I just took summer classes. I literally didn't have a break, so it was just school. And it was completely different. I was scared and excited the entire time. But the longer I was here, the more I realized how much of a better student I could be. Because this wasn't high school, this was college. This is where I had to be a leader, where I had to be, well, basically the student I am now.
Now, were any of you intimidated by the workload, or how did you feel going into the transition from high school to college?
Well, for me, it wasn't that difficult. It wasn't that hard because I was a teaching major and I was already in a teaching academy in my high school, La Mirada High. And it was pretty much the same. It was just more classes, a lot of studying, and I mean a lot of studying. I hardly studied back in high school. Then I ended up having to study almost every single night, every single week for almost all of my classes. And it was a little different. It wasn't that much because I was a dork and a nerd back in high school, and I'm a dork and nerd now. So it wasn't that much of a difference, but the more I was here, the more I realized it actually was.
And for me, it was not much of a difference from my high school. Because if I'm not mistaken, my high school, which is Cerritos High School, is a top 100 or 150 academically in California. So we were taught to study hard and study all the time. So if anything, the transfer from high school to at least Cerritos College was quite simple. And I feel like I did way better here at Cerritos College than I did at high school. Strictly because they pushed us to strive our best in high school.
Not bad, not bad. Didn't any of you go through that lost transition where you're like, oh no, none of my buddies from high school are in my classes?
I can answer that. Well, no. For me, since my school and my rival school is literally down the street from Cerritos College, I actually knew a lot of people I grew up with who came here. So I was actually happy and I was able to adapt from that quite easily.
For me, a lot of my peers were actually with me in the teaching program because there were about 400 people that applied for the program I was in, and several of us got in, and almost all the classes we had were positioned just for us, and I had friends with me no matter where I went for 2 years until I got out of the teaching program. So I didn't really feel like, oh my gosh, my friends are not going to be with me. Oh no, the world's going to end. I never felt that.
Okay. Now, I know that this situation, sometimes some students go through this, and that's not knowing what you want to do yet, not knowing what exactly you want to specialize in. Did you guys go through that?
I did. When I was in the teaching program, I actually wanted to be either a psychologist or I wanted to be a teacher. I didn't know, especially when I was an intern back in high school, and I kind of yelled at the kids, and I didn't really know if that was the place for me, and I was leaning more towards psychology, but then everybody was trying to force me to be a teacher, and then everybody was trying to force me to be a psychologist, so I didn't know exactly what I was going to be, and some people were actually telling me to become a lawyer. So I didn't know, yes, Philip, I see your face. Yes, people want me to become a lawyer. But, yeah, I didn't know until the end of the round of the teaching program where I realized this is not for me. I would probably do a lot better in psychology. And then I watched a lot of forensic shows, and then I decided I want to be a forensic psychologist and deal with all the criminals, aka the crazies.
Well, for me, it's a long, long, long story.
Of course it is.
Well, my first full year, I didn't know what I wanted to be. So I was just taking my general education, trying to see what I would enjoy. But close to the end of my first spring semester, I went to go talk to Professor Cameron and get more information about the journalism program. And for me, I didn't want to stay in community college for that long. So I just said, he sold me on it, let me try this program out. So after my first semester, it did take me the 2 recommended years to get my associate's degree, which I was like, maybe I should continue this at a 4-year university, which I did. But once I transferred to Cal State Dominguez, I kind of felt like maybe I should have took a few more years at this school to maybe weigh my options, which I regret I didn't do now. Not that it's a bad thing that I transferred, but I think it would have been a better learning experience if I stayed here longer. Yeah. long story short, if I stay here longer, I think I'll have better fit another major.
And if you would have stayed here, you would actually not have to come visit us all the time. You would actually have a reason to be on campus.
Yeah.
Phil was homesick right now today. That's why he's here. He was homesick for.
Phil's always homesick. I don't know what you're talking about, Rob.
All right, we'll get right back to this as soon as we get to these public service announcements.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends.
In biology,
In English, I learned that I
I
make
learned that
people
I'm fat and
sick.
stupid.
And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell.
That I'm a loser.
In chemistry, I learned that no one likes
In
me.
biology,
Chemistry,
I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today
The only thing I didn't learn today
the only thing I didn't learn
It's why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Living with diabetes is not easy. It's common to feel overwhelmed, sad, or angry. If you are at risk of type 2 diabetes, you may be struggling with trying to prevent or delay the onset of the disease. Even if you know what to do to improve your health, figuring it out, how do you do it, and fitting it in your daily schedule, it can be a big challenge. That's why it's important to make a plan to help you manage your diabetes or take steps to prevent it. Learn how to plan and set goals that will work for you. Visit yourdiabetesinfo.org. That's yourdiabetesinfo.org to learn more and to get started on your plan today.
People don't much listen to the radio on the radio anymore. They listen on their desktops, they listen on their laptops, they listen on their tablets, and mostly they listen on their cell phones. You can hear WPMD on great streaming sites like TuneIn and Streema and Radio Shaker, and now you can listen to the place where people make a difference on our new WPMD app. It's free and ready for you to download. Just go to appcatch.com, that's appcatch.com, search for WPMD, then hit launch, and you're with us. It'll work on your iPhone, your Android, your BlackBerry, your iPad. You can take WPMD with you wherever you go, whenever you go. The WPMD app. One more reason why WPMD on the net is the place where people make a difference.
And welcome back to the Falcon Spotlight. I'm your host, Rob JF. And, getting into that subject of that public service announcement that we had right there about bullying, I mean, wow, now that's something that almost everybody goes through eventually in their lives. I mean, did you guys have, bullies?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've been bullied my whole life since kindergarten all the way up. It got to the point where I ended up becoming a bully because I was so sick and tired of being bullied. I remember one time I pretty much blacked out because someone was spreading rumors about me and my friend. Long story short, actually, no, I'll just even say it. Basically, they spread a rumor that I had an STD, pretty much, and I gave it to them. And they were saying the same exact thing about my friend. And I didn't like it, the fact that he was messing with my friend. And he kind of made me even more mad. And I almost fought him. But it was pretty bad. I was called ugly. I was threatened. One of my best friends wanted to kill me for no reason because I was fat and stupid. I've had friends where guys threw their backpack in the urinal so that way people would go in there and pee on them. with textbooks in there and everything. It was really brutal growing up. So, yeah, not going to get into details about all of my bullying experience, but yeah, 18 years worth of bullying experience. Philip, your turn.
Yeah. And for me, I have always been big for my age throughout grade school. So I was fortunate enough to not get bullied a lot, except for a few times where it wasn't necessarily me getting bullied, but people bringing race into it. But up until I was in middle school, I went to a diverse middle school, so race or anything didn't really matter. So I was fortunate enough from that point on not to be picked on or bullied against.
Oh, and I mean, there's always resources. There's always something that we end up eventually we'll get through where, I mean, maybe it's just a friend, we find a friend and, just talking to someone is always very beneficial. Or else there's always, in some cases where you'll develop a hobby and then it'll just really, spark an interest. And, that's like your escape, having something that you enjoy to do. And, bullying's everywhere, but I mean, you just gotta, be positive and, right? How did you guys, cope with things,
Well, me, whenever I feel not necessarily getting bullied or anything, but whenever I feel sad or I need something to get myself out of myself, I usually call my friends up and talk like professional wrestling and mixed martial arts, because I'm a big fan of both. And I have a lot of friends that are fans of those two. So it was easy for me to say, hey, I know something that can make me happy. Let me call Rob up and talk about wrestling with him. And luckily, he's a big fan too. So it was pretty, at least I had him and people like him I could go to and talk about that stuff.
Well, for me, I always have my friends to vent to, even though they always claim I'm complaining. But, really, Philip? But, I also listen to music, I sing, I dance, I do whatever I can. And actually, on the subject of bullying, I'm actually really surprised at how many resources there are now for those that have been bullied. There are a lot of hotlines and everything for them. Back growing up, we didn't have that. That wasn't really common for bullying to be announced or anything like that. And if you told someone you were a bully, you just had to suck it up. Now that there's resources, there's actually more of a let out about it. And, well, like a few of my friends just walked in right now. Hi. Hi. Well, anyways, I talk to them about my problems if I have problems. I talk to Rob and I talk to Philip, even though he sometimes complains about me talking to him about it. Yes, I know. I love you too. But yeah, pretty much.
Okay, and we have our guests here. Make sure they have some headphones on. Hello there.
Hi, Robert. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
My name is Hope Garcia. I'm the Commissioner of Fine Arts and Convocations here at Cerritos College. How are you doing? And this is my friend Athena. She's a party whip for the college. My best friend. Sweetheart. Say hi.
Hi.
All right, and tell me about we're talking about also our experience of being here at the college. What was it like when you first started college? How did you guys get into like clubs and so forth?
I was introduced to the Artist Society and the Graphic Design Club when I first got here. Actually by one of the teachers who's on sabbatical right now, Hagop Najarian. And I was introduced because most of my classes were actually art classes, so he actually was the advisor at the time. So that's how I was introduced. So it wasn't really during the club week. So that's not where the big push for me was. It was because I was already in art classes. So I had a lot of people who were already involved that were actually pushing that information out when I first got involved.
Cool. And how about you, Athena? How did you get involved with leadership? How did you learn about it?
Well, I was in dance classes a lot, and I ended up taking a dance class with one of the fellow senators, Vanessa Vega, and she was the one who introduced me to student government. And my first position was a senator, and I'm still currently a senator, but I'm also tagged on party whip.
What does a party whip do?
I'm essentially a liaison between cabinet and Senate, and I have to contribute information from each meeting. So cabinet wants to know what Senate did, Senate wants to know what cabinet did. I'm the person who has to know all of this information.
Excellent. And Hope, you have a position as well here on campus, correct?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell us about it?
Well, I'm the Commissioner of Convocations and Fine Arts, which is part of Cabinet, and I'm also the President of the Artist Society.
Excellent. And I heard you're a veteran.
Yes, I am. And I'm running for Miss Veterans of America, which is a campaign which is actually nationally done with military members and veterans alike. And what it is, it's a competition that highlights more than the strength and courage of our nation's military women, but also reminds us of these women as mothers, daughters, sisters, and wives. And what it is, it's a campaign to fundraise for homeless women vets.
And how long have you been part of that group? Like, how did you hear about it?
What it is it started in 2012 by a woman named Jasmine Booth. She's actually also a veteran, and she teamed up with Final Salute Inc., which is a nonprofit organization that helps homeless women veterans, and she started this campaign. People sometimes look at it as a pageant, and it's not a pageant. It's actually a campaign to show the strength that women have, the military women, veterans, and military alike, and what they've done. And what they do is they get together, they start at the regional level, and you have these women that are advocating for the rights of these homeless women and their children. Because right now, nationally, we have over 55,000 women and children that are homeless.
And how can people find out more information about it? Are there videos, a website?
There's websites that express what Miss Veteran America is. There's www.missveteranamerica.org. There's the Final Salute website, which is the finalsaluteinc.org. And then there's the donation page. I myself have my donation page because I am one of the runners, and it's crowdrise.com/MVA 2015 Hope G. And if you go there and let's say you wanted to donate $25, that'll help get a homeless woman veteran and one of her family members off the street.
That's great. And I know that I believe just recently you guys had also another type of veteran event going on here on campus, correct?
We had Veterans Day back in November. During Veterans Day, we did a big thing with the president of the school, and we had a big representation where we had some veterans come out, tell their stories about what they felt that Cerritos College had done for them, their transition periods from becoming a military member and transitioning over to becoming a veteran and going to college, and what it's like. Because a lot of people don't understand the concept of what it feels like to become a military member and then becoming back to becoming a civilian. Because a lot of us have to face other avenues. Same reason why we have homeless women veterans. They face things such as post-traumatic stress disorder, military sexual trauma, legal troubles, divorce and separation, disabilities, domestic violence, lack of family or social support. Because sometimes when people get out, we here on campus, believe it or not, have people that are going to school that are homeless. We have homeless vets that actually are going to Cerritos College, but they want to get their education and they want to push forward and push through what they weren't actually able to get when they got out of the military. So they're pushing past these factors that are actually making things harder for them to get through these traumas that they were facing, and they're trying to push forward through them. And with the advocation from the VRC and their fellow students and DSPS?
DSPS.
Exactly. Are trying to help assist them so that they can take their classes normally like every other student.
And we also have an office here that works with the veterans, correct?
Yes, it's the VRC.
Can you tell us more about that one as well?
The Veterans Resource Center is unbelievable for all veterans here on campus. They take the time out of their day to they have tutoring, special tutoring just for students for veterans. They have access to computers for veterans. They have their own actual counselor for veterans. And they have access to other points that we need. Like if we are using our post 9/11 GI Bill, for using Chapter 31, Chapter 33, other avenues and other ways that we use our monies that we're allocated from being in the government. And they also help us when we need assistance when it comes to medical or health benefits. They tell us what avenues we can use and where to go. They also give us opportunities to find scholarships. And just the big thing about veterans is that we're a family. And we look at each other as brothers and sisters in arms. And we know that from one person to another, it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop after you get out of the military. You're always a brother or sister. I can walk in there and talk to one person, and I may have never met them before, but I know because they served just as I did, that they've had to go through the same quarrels that I have, and that they have to face the same things, and that they too are always going to be one of my brothers or sisters.
Excellent. And I know that, I usually always ask my guests this question as well. When you started college, did you know right away what did you want to major in?
I was always an artist at heart. I was an artist when I was in high school. I was military police, though. So when I was in the military, I was a cop. So I have a bachelor's degree already. I have a bachelor's degree in criminology. However, because of my disabilities, I can't be a cop. So I needed to go back and focus on something else. I love the arts. Arts has been a life cycle that I will never forget. I do believe that it's a way of making me who I am, and it's a way of getting rid of a lot of stress in my life. But I also view communications as a positive for me too, because I do love to advocate.
It's my turn. Well, I came in here like most people. I had no idea what I wanted to do. The only thing I knew was that I wanted to be in the medical field. I explored with pharmacology for a while there, and I ended up settling on nursing. I really liked nursing after volunteering. I finally decided I liked being a nurse, and I'm trying to become an RN now, and I'm trying to get into the program here.
Okay, great. Now, all of you have had experience, being part of clubs. Can you guys tell me, what have you all taken from the experience of being involved in the student life outside of just the classroom?
Me personally, I've learned leadership. Leadership is something that I never used to practice all the time. Being a leader is so much harder than people make it out to be.
Definitely.
You have to be on top of your game all the time. You have to be an inspiration to people, and you have to direct them in ways that are beneficial to both you and them. It's difficult and hard, but I really enjoy it now.
For me, definitely leadership. Being president of ISA, International Students Association, is an exhausting job because you always have to be a role model, like what Athena said. You always have to be on your game, doing what you have to do for the club 24/7, 365. You have to go to sleep and wake up, eat, sleep, breathe, just that club. Do what you have to do for the club. But I would not trade up this. I don't know what I was going to say, but I would not trade up this job for the world. I would not trade it up. I have become such a strong, independent person because of this. I have become such a leader, and I would not trade this up at all. I would recommend everybody to get into a club, become an officer, You don't have to be president. You could start where I did. I just started as the, what is it called, wallflower? Yeah, I started off as a wallflower, not talking to anybody at all. I just knew one person in there, and then she left. And then from there, I grew, and I ended up becoming more active, and then more active, and then became event coordinator, and from there, vice president, and then now president. The more you grow, the clubs help you grow. You become a better student because of them. You become a better person because of them. So I would recommend it for everybody. And even join student government. It makes you a leader as well. I tried joining, and I've seen what Hope does and what Athena does. I went to almost every single meeting last semester, and they do an amazing job here. I would not, you guys have to either be part of student government. Well, you don't have to. I recommend that you become part of student government or at least a club. Become active on campus because you will become a leader and you'll become successful and a better person because of it.
I think she's completely correct. I think the biggest part about being part of Cerritos College is the fact of the diversity here and the involvement. Being involved gives you another opportunity in the whole spectrum of everything, is the fact that the involvement that you can get out of just meeting new people. It's the same situation as, I hate to keep using the idea of going back to the military, but the factor that here on campus at Cerritos College, we are a diverse group of people and a group of individuals because we all come from different areas and different spectrums. And it's not necessarily about the diversity of our backgrounds, of our ethnicities, of our genders, of our human nature, of our cultures. It's of how we were brought up or who we became. And the factor that the day that you walk in and you come into a club and you realize, wow, I feel so different walking in here. These people aren't going to like me. They're not going to really understand me. You walked into the club because you have something in common with them, because you want to be part of the math club. You want to be part of PBL. You want to be part of ISA. You want to be part of Artist Society. You want to be part of QSA. All these different clubs that are across this campus tell something about these individuals because they all have something in common. They have something they want to give back to each other, and they want to create a bond within each other and become more friendly. And with that, you're learning to adapt to other individuals, which you may not have been able to do when you were in high school, but now that you're in the college level, because this is a community college, this also gives you an opportunity to understand what's going to be like when you get to the undergraduate level, is that you have an opportunity to flourish more, and that's also what it is like to be in student government. You value the understanding of other people's opinions and see what it's like to be a leader because you have an opportunity to listen to other people's views and other people's attitudes. People are different, and that's what brings us together as a community, because it's compassion, it's inclusion. It makes us who we are. The next 2 days when all of these clubs are out here and they're going to be voicing their opinions about their different clubs, join more than one. Have an opportunity to meet all these different people, because this is your opportunity to shine. It's your opportunity to become new to a new surrounding. Don't just sit in the back of the room. Don't be a wallflower. Become something new. Flourish. Take an opportunity when you can. If they say, hey, I need an ICC rep for their new club, join it. Ask for it. Take that opportunity. If you just want to come to a student government meeting, if you want to just come to a student government event or an ASCC event, just remember, just do it, because ASCC is us. It's all of us together. That's what it's supposed to be, and that's where this function needs to happen, is that when we have these meetings and we have these clubs, we want everybody to take part in it. It's not just one individual, it's a team effort. And everybody is an individual, but bringing us all together, that's where the diversity comes together.
All right, I guess I'm the last person. For me, what I learned the most that has affected me today was getting involved on campus has broke me out my shell. Because if anybody has known me prior to coming to Cerritos College, they'll all say, oh, I was that one shy, awkward kid in the corner hanging out with the nerds. But the moment I started getting involved at Cerritos College, whether it was the newspaper, whether it was with Student Senate, whether it was with ISA, those clubs helped me out big time. And I've noticed if it wasn't for those clubs and breaking me out my shell, I probably wouldn't have got the opportunity to transfer to Cal State Dominguez and try my academic career over there, or getting my jobs wherever I worked. If it wasn't for that simple me walking into those clubs and people motivating me to get on my show, I honestly think that I probably wouldn't have been as successful as I am today.
And we'll be back to continue this right after these public service announcements.
People don't much listen to the radio on the radio anymore. They listen on their desktops, they listen on their laptops, they listen on their tablets, and mostly they listen on their cell phones. You can hear WPMD on great streaming sites like TuneIn and Streema and Radio Shaker, and now you can listen to the place where people make a difference on a new WPMD app. It's free and ready for you to download. Just go to appcatch.com, that's appcatch.com, search for WPMD, then hit launch, and you're with us. It'll work on your iPhone, your Android, your BlackBerry, your iPad. You can take WPMD with you wherever you go, whenever you go. The WPMD app. One more reason why WPMD on the net is the place where people make a difference.
Parents sure have their hands full, and they could use an extra hand. Now, every state offers free and low-cost health insurance for your sports hero or budding artist. Kids up to age 19 can get checkups, doctor and dental visits, hospital care, prescriptions, and more. Your child may qualify based on your family size and income. It's one less thing to worry about. Call or go online for more information. 1-877-KIDS-NOW 543-7669. Visit healthcare.gov to learn more about affordable health coverage for your family. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Who might you save?
Your mother, your father, your husband, uncle, aunt, son.
Learn FAST, F-A-S-T, the sudden signs of a stroke, and you could save
your friend, your best friend, teacher, boss, coach.
F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, S, speech difficulty, T, time to call 911. F-A-S-T, face, arm, speech, time. That's F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, S, speech difficulty, T, time to call 911. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in the recovery of
your neighbor, the waiter, a fellow shopper, a total stranger, grandmother, grandfather.
So learn FAST, the sudden signs of a stroke, then pass it on, because you never know who might save you.
Your wife, your colleague, teammate, mother.
Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
And we are back on the Falcon Spotlight. I'm your host, Rob JF. Wow, this has been, what, week 2 now? Right? Is it week 2?
I believe so.
Yep.
Week 3. It's week 4.
Is it?
It's week 4,
Of the
and
school year,
Oh
right?
my, time flies so
it's week
fast.
year.
it's week
we're
4
on
in the
week
school
4.
year, week 2 of your show, Rob.
Wow.
Or is this week 1 of your show?
Now, speaking of clubs, I know that we're on the subject as well of veterans, and we have a veterans center, and then there was the organization you were mentioning. Is there also a veterans club?
Yes, there is, Robert.
Cool. Tell me about it.
The president of the Veterans Club, his name is Francis, and the vice president is Chris Hernandez. A little bit about the Veterans Club is they are active on campus. They meet once a month. I cannot give you the time right now because I can't tell you what it is off the top of my head. I do know it meets on Thursdays. What I can tell you is that they do actively participate in homecoming every year. And they are trying to get together a Marine Corps, a military ball. I think it has been pushed back this year, though. They were supposed to have it in February, but I think they're pushing it back. But it is allocated only for the military and whoever they invite. They do hold fundraisers for certain active events, and they do things outside of campus as well and do their little donation funds. But again, they are an active club, but they do meet once a month.
Great. Also, I always welcome people to make announcements as well. If there's anything coming up in the future, do you know of any fundraisers or anything like that coming up?
Club Info Day is tomorrow and Thursday. So basically, for all those that don't know what Club Info Day is, basically every single club, every active club will be out there tomorrow and on Thursday at 10 to 1, and then 5 to 7 tomorrow night, and then 10 to 1 again on Thursday. So come out, meet us. You'll meet Athena, you'll meet Hope, and you'll meet myself. And of course, Rob will be out there too. You'll meet all of us.
We're fun sometimes.
Sometimes you meet all the time. We're always fun. But yeah.
And there'll be somebody special out there on Thursday.
Oh yeah,
true. Somebody very special will be announced on Thursday.
Are they famous?
They will be famous on this campus.
I'll make sure I come then.
They have lots of feathers.
And I think that's all that Hope's going to say. Okay.
Yeah, and Phil, he's just very homesick. That's why he came to Cerritos
Of course I
College.
am. Of course.
Philip, you always find a reason to come here. I swear. I see you at least once a week, especially last semester. So you every other week in ISA.
See, what happened was just kidding. I don't know. Go on, Rob. Go on.
Okay. I know we're on the subject of also of how, some people started off shy at school or they weren't that involved and so forth. Do you have anything also that you would like to promote? Is there anything else that you probably forgot to mention or?
There's a Senate meeting tomorrow. At 2?
I'll be there.
There isn't really that much going on.
Yes, there is. There's something very big that should be put out to everyone. Hold on one second. Hold that thought.
Okay.
All right, I guess I should talk then while Hope is reading. Basically, there isn't that much going on right now. There's a lot of club meetings that are going on. Tomorrow, definitely come out. Definitely support us. Definitely sign up. Club Info Day is a major part of ASCC, of my life, of a lot of people's lives that are part of clubs. It's a major deal for us because we get to meet you. You get to meet us. You get to see how fun we are at times. But you get to see how easy it is to talk to us, how fun everything will be. And you'll actually probably find an interest. There's sometimes a DJ out there on Club Info Day. There's usually a lot of things that happen on Club Info Day or Club Info Week. So please come out, please support us. A lot of times a few of the meetings will have food. Some of the clubs have food. And yeah, I believe Hope will talk. Yeah.
All right. Yesterday on the Cerritos College page, they put up a thing about help Cerritos win up to $200,000 towards a secure campus. This is really big, okay? So hopefully everyone that's listening today remembers and hears this, because I'm going to keep putting this out. Cerritos College has been nominated to win up to $200,000 in the Stanley Security Together for Safer Schools grant program. The grant will be used towards video cameras, emergency communications, and improving safety and security on campus. The top 2 schools with the most votes in each size category wins. Share this vote for Cerritos every day from now through February 13th via below link, text messaging, or Twitter, # Stanley Security, # Cerritos. So the link is StanleySaferSchools.com/vote/ID/Cerritos. Again, that's StanleySaferSchools.com/vote/ID/Cerritos. What this means is if we get this grant for the school, that will help with our video cameras, emergency communications, improving the safety and security on campus. And we all know here that we're sick and tired of hearing about these guys being in our school bathrooms. Nobody wants to hear about the peeping Toms. And nobody wants to hear about these bike thefts. and more money going into the school for a safer school, for safer security programs, money that would get a grant that would help us is great, because it's actually not having to come from the Cerritos funds would be awesome to just get that money given to us. So all these clicks and all these likes from text messaging on Twitter, again, pound Stanley Security, STANLEYSECURITY, pound Cerritos, or go to the link stanleysaferschools.com/vote/ID/Cerritos. And what I'm going to do is tomorrow, me and Athena will make sure we have these papers out tomorrow and try to send them out to some of the clubs so that you guys can start putting this out. Until February 13th, you can re-click and re-click and re-click. And if we can get our school up there, we can get that $200,000 grant. And wouldn't that be great to help secure this campus?
Definitely.
That would be great for the security initiative on this campus. And that would put forth another thing that we could do well to get us set into making sure that less things are happening and that there's safer programs going on in this school.
Let's be honest, this school definitely needs more security here. Like, we've had, how many bike thefts in the past semester?
I
Yeah, definitely. And I've seen now since school started, at least once a week, we've had like a peeping Tom looking into the stall or looking under the stall. And one time, wasn't there a video camera last semester?
Yes, there was.
And there was just a lot of stuff like that. So we definitely need more security. So I definitely recommend it for everybody to do this.
It's a great opportunity because it's not money out of our pockets. It's money and it's a grant given to us. So with that, everyone should actually take the time to tweet. Stanley Security, tweet. Stanley Security, pound Cerritos, tweet.
You sound like a bird.
Well, whether I sound like a bird or not, hopefully it gets the point across. So tweet.
I think it's pretty amazing that you guys, have further developed your leadership skills. You really gravitated towards leadership involvement. You didn't decide to be like the average student that just wants to go to class and then go home. One of the things that I always ask my guests before I end my show is, what is your goal for the semester, and where do you see yourself after Cerritos College?
Hope you want to go first? Or do you want...
You can go. Go ahead.
Athena, you want to go?
Well, my goal for the end of the semester is my goal every semester, which is to get my 4.0. I want to get my 4.0 up higher. I'm currently at 3.88, so I need to keep getting 4.0s every semester. Currently what I'm working on, which everybody knows me for, is being more involved. I want to be more involved because you just meet so many great people when you're involved. So being able to keep my high grades and being so involved is such an accomplishment. And one of my teachers had just told me this morning that I was being considered for an academic excellence award. So having all of that come together and showing that my hard work is paying off, I want that to increase.
What about after Cerritos?
Oh, well, I'm trying to be a nurse, like I said earlier.
Okay.
So hopefully I can get into, after I get my AA here, I wanted to transfer to Cal State Long Beach and get my BA.
Cool.
I was going to boo her because I want her to go to USC with me, but she's not listening. I'm not saying Long Beach is good, okay, for everyone who wants to go to Long Beach, but I'm still for USC. Sorry, guys. I really want to go to USC, so I'm sorry. Go USC. My goals for the rest of the semester is still advocation. Advocate, and awareness, and pushing forth, making sure that people are aware of what's going on here on campus, off campus, the fundraising, and more things to come later on in the semester. At this point, I'm going to say hush hush, but I do want to say that overall, my strongest thing is getting involved with more students and letting them know that they always have someone and they have people here in student government to go to if they need something or someone to talk to. And that's my biggest thing, is that we're open. ASCC, student government, myself, other people around me that I've met here in student government and in the clubs, we all have a voice and we're all available to talk to, especially when someone needs something. And I think that that's the biggest thing that I want to push about this semester, is that people need to understand that there's more people out there that are willing to listen. And I hope that that's what I get for a point across for this year, is that to advocate that people should be a little more sincere and that we're available for just to be there for each other as a team. And after leaving here, my goals, USC. Get probably double major communication and graphic design. Keep going and maybe go a little higher than that. A little higher.
Just a little bit higher.
Just a little bit higher.
For me, one of my biggest goals this semester is to become a better person. I want to work on myself more than I want to work on myself along with the club. ISA is planning an event right now called Global Village. And it's basically every club getting together and representing different countries, different cultures, showing different food, different languages, different music, different things coming together. And that's one thing that ISA is all about, bringing domestic and international students all together, trying to show different cultures around the world. Domestic students like myself learn about different cultures while they're learning about ours. That's what ISA is here for.
Cool.
And that's what made me a better person, because I'm learning more about other cultures, so I'm not biased anymore.
And what about after Cerritos College? What do you want to do?
After Cerritos, I want to keep up my psychology major. I want to go to Cal State Fullerton. I want to become a double major of human services and psychology. Sorry, I don't have the money for USC.
Okay.
I would love to, but I don't have the money for USC. And then I'm going to keep going on with BA, MA, doctorates, you name it. I'll keep going. Probably I'll get my PhD at USC if you don't mind.
How about you, Phil?
We'll go work together.
Okay.
Well, I'm done with school.
Boo.
So, what was the second question?
What was your goal for the semester, and what's your goal after Cerritos? But you're done with Cerritos, huh?
So
but you miss it.
My goal right now is to get into the California Department of Corrections Academy, become a correctional officer. And as a backup, I'm trying to apply for the Long Beach Police Department and do their police academy.
So we need to talk, don't we?
Yes.
Cool. So we're down to the last 2 minutes, literally, of the show. But
Hey,
do
Philip.
you guys have any closing remark or anything like that? Or
I got one. Philip, let's be honest. Your main goal is to come back to Cerritos.
I'll be back tomorrow. Just kidding.
All budding artists, please come out in the next 2 days to the Artist Society booth. If you guys have any interest in any type of art, just come say hi. Just come meet me and come say hello. Please. I'd love to meet some new artists out there, new freshmen. I'd love to get to know you. We have a great plan for the Diversity Week and to go green at the end of the semester. We have a big art idea coming out. So if you have an opportunity, come by the Artist Society Club booth. I'd like to get your guys' opinion, and I'd like to get you guys signed up with the club. I promise you it'll be a great idea, and you do not have to be an art major to be part of the Artist Society. I want everybody to understand that clubs are not just affiliated for your major. Clubs are affiliated for everyone. Remember that. All clubs are open to everybody.
And she paints faces cool. My little sister said that. She came to the festival.
Man, you're going to make me take out my face paint, aren't you?
And also, if anybody's interested in International Students the Association, please come out. I would love to meet you. You do not have to be an international student to join. If you are interested in learning about different cultures and meeting different people from other countries, please come out. Please support us. Please sign up. We will love to meet you.
Great.
Okay, and go out there for Social Equality Club and the Debate Club and ASCC Student Government and QSA,
ELPS,
Model Bien, PBL,
Global Studies.
Global Studies. If I forget somebody, please don't get mad at me out there. I promise I was voting for all y'all.
Nurses Association.
Nurses Association.
K-Pop Club.
K-Pop Club. Oh, PTK. Oh my gosh. Definitely PTK. Seriously. You gotta be out there for all y'all.
I want to thank you all for taking the time to be here on the first Falcon Spotlight since like 8 months I've been gone.
Thank you for having us, Rob.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Phil forgot to say that after Cerritos, he probably wants to be a WWE superstar, right? So that concludes this show for today, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Thank you very much.